The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRCMedia, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
This week on FRCmedia News, those receiving heating assistance will finally be seeing payments apply to their utility bills. We get an update on economic development projects from the Fall River Redevelopment Authority. And does the city have the appetite to change its government structure? All this and more coming up. It's Thursday, December 18th, 2025. This is FRCmedia News. I'm Keith Tebow. City residents who qualify for home heating assistance will soon have their payments processed to cover their utility bills. Citizens for Citizens Incorporated, which administers the Home Energy Assistance Program to a combined 13,000 to 14,000 families in Fall River and Taunton, was not able to process claims due to the federal government shutdown that began in October and ended the middle of last month. With the shutdown now over, Executive Director Elizabeth Barabee says the organization signed its contract with the federal government to begin receiving funding last week.
It is a little slower, of course, because we have to catch up. So normally we're certifying and approving applications back in August and September, and we didn't start now until December. So we just want people to be patient. You can check the status of your application by calling our automated line. It's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The number is 508-676-7397. And you can hear if you've been approved, if it's still pending. I can tell you if the status is still that it is pending, there's really no need to call the office. Just keep checking unless you are an emergency. We're handling if you don't have heat, whether it's because of lack of fuel, deliverable fuel, your utilities are going to get shut off, or they're already off, or there's an issue with your heating system. Those are the folks that definitely need to call and get their application worked on quickly.
Ms. Barabee says payments will be made retroactively to November, and clients should not be concerned that their heat will be shut off if payments are made late.
There is a protection that was actually, it's supposed to start every year, November 15th, where the utilities cannot shut off any low-income customer. We worked very hard. CFC was one of the agencies that actually took the lead, working with the utility companies, the AG's office, and Department of Public Utilities, and that was actually moved up 3 weeks. So the utilities were not shutting off low-income folks back, I want to say it was like October 27th versus the November 15th. So people should not be getting shut off during the winter. And the utility companies know the situation about the shutdown, so they're aware that payments are being delayed. So they are anticipating slowness in getting the payments, but they are aware. And we want folks to know, we do go back to November 1st and everything goes retroactive. So if you don't get your application approved until February, we will go back and pay those bills from November.
Thus far, CFC has processed 5,000 applications for the program that runs from November through April. There's still time for families to apply to the program.
You can do it in person. We have regular business hours. It's Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Of course, next week, the week of Christmas, there'll be a change in some hours due to the holiday. But after the holidays, again, it'll be Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. And you can apply in through April 30th. If you're an applicant who may not have received your application or you may have misplaced it, we will be sending out a little reminder letter. We do that every year at the end of January that basically says, hey, we sent you an application, or back in August or September and we haven't received it yet. You still have time. Check out our guidelines on our website. You'll be pleasantly surprised. This is a program that you don't have to be on a means-tested program to be eligible. For a family of 4, the income guidelines, it's gross income we base it on, but it's basically close to $100,000. It's a little bit more than $99,000 annually. For one in the family, it's over $51,000. So these are obviously programs for people who work. So if you know of anyone or you yourself, go onto our website, check the guidelines. You can apply online, in person. Please take advantage of what's out here to help you make it through this tough time.
A man accused of murder in Fall River last month was arraigned this week in Fall River District Court. 32-year-old Kendrick O'Neill Williams pled not guilty to the shooting and killing of 31-year-old Taekwon Texera on Pleasant Street on November 22nd. Williams was found in Jacksonville, Florida, and returned to Fall River over the weekend. He's being held without bail, pending another court appearance next month. As it heads into 2026, the Fall River Redevelopment Authority is moving forward on several projects aimed at bolstering the city's economic development and quality of life. The largest project before the Redevelopment Authority is administering its master plan for developing over 19 acres of land freed up on the waterfront when the reconstruction of Route 79 and Duval Street is finished next year. Executive Director Sarah Page says the state currently owns the land, and who will take the lead in guiding the project is still undetermined.
We have been talking with Mass DOT, and they are saying that they will put it out for RFP, will be involved in the process, and they will base it on the master plan. So at least our goal of having local input and stakeholders and residents involved in helping plan that out will affect the process in any case. But Representative Fiola has put out a bill that would have the land transferred to the Redevelopment Authority, so the city is really in control.
The Redevelopment Authority currently handles the organization of events at the Thomas Norton City Pier, which Ms. Page says will soon be available for private organizations to rent sometime next year. Now, just north of the City Pier, but south of Point Gloria, the Redevelopment Authority is looking to rework waterfront land called Northfield Point that will include natural landscaping and educational opportunities.
We've talked with both Audubon Society and trustees of reservations, and they both are involved with educational programs in the city. So they're both interested in doing programs with kids around the plants that we plant. We're planting a lot of vegetation that feeds birds, and so we're hoping the river is also a flyway, and so we're hoping that we're feeding birds at different times of year and they'll be attracted. We're hoping to put up an osprey tower so that they can build a nest there because there are osprey on the river. So we're doing a lot to make it a place where you can really go and enjoy nature.
Elsewhere near the waterfront, the Redevelopment Authority is working on priorities for buildings and land just south of Battleship Cove on Anawan Street.
We're really trying to figure out how to put maximum parking and decide which buildings to keep and which buildings really aren't needed.
Right.
And a couple definitely will come down because the parking challenge is that you have Primos and the Narrows, and they both become totally full on nights of concerts, and there may be some housing going on to Anawan Street, and that should be a really vibrant area, and you can't make it vibrant without more parking.
The Redevelopment Authority continues to work out its urban renewal plan for Pleasant Street and the Flint neighborhood.
We're focusing now really on Granite Street to Eastern Ave,
right,
with a real focus kind of from Flint Street to, or Quequechan Street up to Eastern Ave, and trying to really make that area that was always considered the city's second downtown a vibrant place again. We really want to see some of the buildings that are vacant and deteriorated on Pleasant Street get redeveloped. And one at the corner of Flint and Pleasant, a big historic building, is being renovated by someone who has done that before. And another developer is renovating 2 buildings up near Claflin Street and near the Bay Coast Bank branch. And so there's momentum going in terms of redeveloping some of the parcels.
The Fall River City Council last week approved a resolution asking Mayor Paul Coogan to submit an order seeking voter input on changing the city's form of government. The resolution was crafted by Councilor Michelle Dion, who says the idea arose some time ago by former City Councilor Stephen Camara, but at that time there was little interest to make changes.
We're in a much different place and a much different time now. And in the last couple of years, I've spoken with, a significant number of people, and there just definitely seems to be at this point an appetite for it. I mean, we hear people all the time, they're disgruntled. Oh, they don't like this, they don't like that, they don't like the way, government runs. The voting, the number of people that vote today, there's so few. There's so much apathy out there. So I thought, you know what? Let's put it out there. Let's see where people stand. Let's see what people think. Let's see how they feel. Do they want to try something new? There's 2 answers to every question. There's yes and there's no. And whatever happens, well, then that's what we live with.
In order to change the form of government in any community, voters need to approve a ballot initiative seeking that change. The process to do so is extensive.
It has to be a collaborative effort. It has to be the city council and the mayor. The city council can't do it by themselves. The mayor can't do it by himself. And it's not even us changing the form of government. So this is a process to get to a ballot question asking the voters if they want to change their form of government. This isn't about we're advocating or not advocating for it. It's not about the mayor advocating or not advocating. It's a simple question. And it's just giving the voters the ability, if they choose, to change their form of government. Once that happens, it'll go to Boston. Boston will vote on it. If and when they allow us to do it, to move forward with it, at that point, now we get into the nuts and bolts of it, putting it together, bringing it to the people, answering the questions, holding forums, going to neighborhood meetings, that sort of thing. But it's a process.
The state allows for 5 plans in forming a city government, lettered A through F. Fall River currently falls under Plan A, which allows for a mayor who serves as chief executive officer and the city council sitting as the legislative body. Voters will be asked to consider a Plan E form of government.
We're still going to have a city council. We're still going to have a school committee. What we would have a city manager instead of a mayor. The president of the city council would also be the chair of the school committee, which there's a lot of people who don't feel the mayor should be the chair of the school committee. There's other people who have an opposing view. So the mayor, there would no longer be a mayor that would be chair of the school committee. And that individual would also be a ceremonial mayor. They would do the ribbon cuttings, the public events, etc. But the interesting thing is you'd still have, at least at this time, 9 city councilors. 8 of them would run for an at-large seat, which would be voted on by the people. But the 9th seat would be the individual who would be president of the council, chair of the school committee, ceremonial mayor. However, they would run for that, people would run for that position, and the voters would elect that person.
It's Councilor Dion's hope that the ballot initiative could be before voters at next November's election. We'll have more FRC Media News after this.
Here are some job descriptions on the latest hot jobs list from the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center. HVAC mechanic. Filch Engineering is looking for a full-time HVAC mechanic to install, maintain, and repair heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and refrigeration systems in the Fall River area. Job number 235-34154. Assistant Program Director, Bay Coast Behavioral, located at 170 Pleasant Street, seeks a full-time Assistant Program Director to support the planning, execution, and oversight of organizational programs, focusing on staff management. Job number 235-33131. Accounts Receivable Clerk, Fall River's Florist Supply, located at 119 Cove Street, is seeking a full-time accounts receivable clerk responsible for calling customers regarding payments, monitoring account activity, posting payments, and processing credits. Job number 235-32943. Bookkeeper, Leader Fogarty and Ribeiro PC, located at 101 Jeremiah V. Sullivan Drive, is urgently looking for a part-time bookkeeper. For more information, call 508-689-4773. Blount Fine Foods, located at 63 Current Road, has an immediate need for the following full and part-time positions. Data entry clerks. Job number 235-32930. Blending operators. Job number 235-30287. For more information about these or other positions, visit Mass Hire JobQuest at jobquest.dcs.eol.mass.gov or call the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center at 508-730-5000.
My name is David Perry. I'm the president of the Greater Fall River Food Pantry. And what we do here is we provide food to clients that are in need. We're always trying to get more people involved in what we're doing. And we're trying to concentrate on youth, and it's all about helping people. And that's what we should all be doing, is helping someone. So it's a great opportunity for them to come down here and give us a couple of hours a week. It's not long, it's 2 hours a day. And once they start volunteering, it's like a family, it really is. So getting these younger people involved, it's just great. It's great to see. It's great to have younger generations seeing what's going on in the real world, as we call it, and helping out.
I've gotten a new outlook on the community. I've been able to see all sides, helped me learn just a lot about Fall River as a whole.
We like to get students in from 14 years of age and older. It's not about the Greater Fall River Community Food Pantry. It's about what the Greater Fall River Community Food Pantry does as an outreach. We want to reach out to the community. Most schools require that the students put in volunteer hours. We're a perfect example of receiving those students, and that way they get their hours accredited, and it gives them a good learning experience.
Volunteering here made you feel good, felt like you were helping out the community, and also it really helped me out with making my application stand out with having volunteer hours on them. When I'm applying for jobs, I've been on the hunt right now, and I've done a lot more interviews since I did charity work here. Makes you really stand out, and also just feels good helping out the community.
I love hearing other people's lives, how other people live, other people's families. It's interesting, and I really like to do this work.
Come down and see what it's like. Come down and take an opportunity to help someone else. Come and see what's really happening in the world out there.
Welcome back. Last week, the One South Coast Chamber of Commerce held its annual meeting and awards ceremony. Outgoing Chamber Board Chair Rose Lopes said despite many uncertainties and challenges, the state of business and the Chamber remain strong.
It has been a challenging stretch for businesses everywhere, and no one needs a reminder of that. But One South Coast Chamber has just not weathered the storm. We have leaned into it and learned from it. Thanks to the exceptional leadership of our board and our staff, the Chamber remains financially strong, strategically focused, and deeply engaged with people and businesses we exist to serve. Over the last year, our in-person events continue to grow. some reaching record levels, and we maintained a strong cash position. Most importantly, we continue to deliver on our mission to support businesses and strengthen the entire South Coast region.
Along with organizing, networking, and community events, the Chamber also worked on initiatives that are making an impact across the South Coast.
In partnership with the Realtors Association of Southeastern Massachusetts, we established the South Coast Workforce Housing Coalition, a coalition focusing on advancing housing production. We worked closely with our state legislators and the Healy administration to raise awareness of issues such as unemployment insurance, energy affordability, housing, and the state's overall competitiveness. We met with our congressional congressmen several times to discuss federal issues affecting our region, including tariffs, bridge infrastructure, PBMs, offshore wind, and more. In other words, our voice is being heard and it's making a difference.
The Chamber recognized 7 individuals and 4 local businesses for their impact they've made to the region in 2025. We'll wrap up this week's edition of FRC Media News after this.
My name is David Perry. I'm the president of the Greater Forever Food Pantry. And what we do here is we provide food to clients that are in need. We're always trying to get more people involved in what we're doing, and we're trying to concentrate on youth. And it's all about helping people, and that's what we should all be doing, is helping someone. So it's a great opportunity for them to come down here and give us a couple of hours a week. It's not long, it's 2 hours a day, and once they start volunteering, it's like a family. It really is. So getting these younger people involved, it's just great. It's great to see. It's great to have younger generations seeing what's going on in the real world, as we call it, and helping out.
I've gotten a new outlook on the community. I've been able to see all sides, helped me learn just a lot about Fall River as a whole.
We like to get students in from 14 years of age and older. It's not about the Greater Fall River Community Food Pantry. It's about what the Greater Fall River Community Food Pantry does as an outreach. We want to reach out to the community. Most schools require that the students put in volunteer hours. We're a perfect example of receiving those students, and that way they get their hours accredited, and it gives them a good learning experience.
Volunteering here made you feel good, felt like you were helping out the community, and also it really helped me out with making my application stand out with having volunteer hours on them. Like when I'm applying for jobs, I've been on the hunt right now, and I've done a lot more interviews since I did charity work here. Makes you really stand out, and also just feels good helping out the community.
I love hearing other people's lives, how other people live, other people's families. It's interesting, and I really like to do this work.
Come down and see what it's like. Come down and take an opportunity to help someone else. Come and see what's really happening in the world out there.
That'll do it for this week's edition of FRC Media News. Please visit our website, frmedia.org, for more local news and information. We'll be taking the next couple of weeks off to enjoy the holidays, but please join us for our annual special edition of FRC Media News as we look back at the top news stories in Fall River in 2025. You can catch FRC Media News on Channel 95 and the Fall River HD channel located on Channel 1072. For all of us here at FRC Media News, I'm Keith Tebow. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and we'll see you in 2026.